What's happening, everyone? James Lynch here doing a quick reaction video to the UFC 296 featherweight fight, which opened up the pay-per-view between Josh Emmett and Bryce Mitchell. If you haven't watched the fight, turn this video off. You've been warned. All right, it is Josh Emmett knocking out Bryce Mitchell in the very first round. Incredible win. Kind of just came out of nowhere. Emmett just knocked out Mitchell. He's on the canvas. He was convulsing. It was a pretty brutal scene after the fact with Bryce Mitchell on the ground for a little bit, convulsing basically, like I just mentioned there. And Josh Emmett getting back in the win column. He needed this. This kind of came out of nowhere. I know Emmett had fought really two really good opponents in Ilia Topuria and Yair Rodriguez, but those fights weren't competitive. Josh goes in there and gives Bryce Mitchell the first knockout loss of his career. It's the first knockout win for Josh Emmett since July of 2019 when he knocked out Mirsad Bektic. It's been a while since we've seen this version of Josh Emmett, the guy that can go in there and get it done by knockout. He talked about it post-fight, saying he does have the most knockout power in the division. Certainly looked at, and age is not a number at all here. He is merely a number, I should say. He's 38 years old. Definitely didn't look like a plus 185 underdog. This line got a little bit too high. I told you guys on the preview show on Monday, I was picking Mitchell here. I'll fully eat that, but it still was a fight where I think there were some question marks about what type of Josh Emmett we'd see, just because he fought the two really good opponents in his last two fights with Rodriguez and Ilia Topuria. So Josh Emmett gets life again in the featherweight division. I personally think a fight against him and then the loser of the UFC 297 fight between Arnold Allen and Evoyev, I think makes a lot of sense. With Bryce Mitchell, this is a tough loss. This is 2 losses in his last 3 fights. I know he looked good in the Ige fight, and I know he did take this fight on short notice, but where does Bryce Mitchell go from here? This is a big setback in his, quest of becoming a contender in the division. He's going to have to take a step back a little bit. I think like a Calvin Kattar type fight is going to be the way to go. Something like that, that's sort of mid-tier in the division for him to get back his footing, but tough loss there for Mitchell, who did step up on short notice, replacing Chikaze against Josh Emmett. Didn't go his way tonight with Josh Emmett getting the knockout win. So I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. What did you think of this knockout? Where does this knockout rank in terms of knockouts of this entire year? I thought that was pretty incredible considering just how much power was put into that shot. And were you expecting this from Josh Emmett? If you picked him, I'd love to hear from you. I know some people did, but I think, again, this was pretty much a 50-50 fight going in. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, @LynchOnSports, and make sure you stay tuned for my UFC 296 post-fight show, which will be following the pay-per-view tonight. I'm James Lynch. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.